Paula's here.
Hello, nice to see you again.
And they're delicious Orsini sausage. And today we're going to do a recipe for Thanksgiving for stuffing. Sausage stuffing. And this is a family recipe.
It is. It's my mom's famous turkey stuffing recipe.
Hello, Doreen.
Hi, Mom.
Good. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the ingredients?
All right. Chopped onion, a little bit of chicken stock with maybe a little bit of butter in it if you need it. There's the Italian sweet sausage with the fennel and the garlic, a little bit more butter, salt, pepper, celery, and we're going to do some breadcrumbs. Seasoned breadcrumbs. Seasoned breadcrumbs.
Okay.
We're using seasoned one today.
All right, good. And we're going to show you the sweet sausage. And I did a spicy sausage this morning. So we're going to have a contrast of sweet and hot. All right, so let's work together. I'm going to do the onion. You can do the celery.
I'll do the celery. All right.
We're going to dice a large onion. Oh, we need to talk about the recipe that we're going to have advertised on the website is for 18-pound turkey.
It's a big turkey. It's a big bird.
So when I was making the recipe this morning, it was quite a lot. It was 8 cups of breadcrumbs and 2 pounds of sausage. So I had a lot of stuffing.
You have some extra.
So what we're going to do is just half that recipe. So we're only going to do half the recipe with 1 pound of sausage. So 8 cups of breadcrumbs and 2 pounds of sausage is a lot. So
it's a lot.
yeah.
So that was for a big bird. So you can take it, make the 8 cups, but freeze some of it. Put it in the freezer, put it in containers, and then just take it out when you need it.
Great.
You know, you have a weeknight and you need something, use it as a side dish or something like that.
Sounds great. So we have some bowls. We're going to put our little celery. Our pan is heating up to a medium heat, and we're going to bring our celery and our onions over to be sauteed. Paula, so we're going to add a little olive oil in the bottom of the pan. We're going to saute up our onions. A nice little sizzle, right? Yeah, it smells good already. And then some celery. And a little bit of pepper and salt as it reduces down. A little bit. And we're just going to saute it down until it's translucent, and then we're going to do our sausage, right?
Sounds good. Smells good. All right, so a lot of people don't realize that you can take the casings off the sausage and then just put it in there and crumble it up yourself. So you don't have to buy it as a bulk sausage. So it's really easy. If they're a little firmer, it's a little bit better that you can just kind of slice it down the side, and it slices the casing right off very easily, and then you just peel it back, and then it just comes right out.
Okay.
And then just pull it off, and there you go.
Great.
And it makes it so much easier.
It's easier to break it up in the pan.
It is easier, and then that way you don't have the casing, and the casing can get chewy if you leave that in there, and you don't really want that in there when you're making the stuffing.
Fantastic.
Easy.
All right, so now the casings are off of the sausage, and we're going to chop it up a little bit to make it smaller, to make it easier to fry in the pan.
Just makes it a little quicker.
It
so
does
you're not
make it
sitting
quicker.
there like waiting for as long, and a little bit more consistent too in the pan when it's cooking.
All right, one more.
Good.
And again, this is half of the recipe that's on there.
So I don't know if your family's like mine. My family, half of them like it stuffed in the bird. The other half likes it just baked in the oven. So it's a little bit drier, so it's not as wet. So again, that's where making that much stuffing comes in handy. Always make some, put it in the bird, take another pan and put it in the oven.
Sounds like a great plan. We're ready to go saute this lovely sausage. Now, because because your sausage is so lean and delicious, of course, what I found good is just to add a little bit more olive oil in the bottom of the pan so it doesn't stick as you're sauteing it.
There is no huge amount of fat in the sausage.
No.
So,
You know, a lot of people say, oh, sausage, oh, you know, I'm going to gain some weight there, but this is lean meat.
it's very lean.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue to cook it and make little pieces and crumble it up. And I push the onions and the celery to the side, and then once the sausage is cooked, I just added them in. And then what I did was I put it in a bowl and let it sit for 15 minutes. Do you add the breadcrumbs when it's hot, or do you let it sit?
You know what? It's all in my timing. It's what I have time for. If you're in a rush, you know, let it. You can do it right away. If not, let it sit for a little while, cool down. It'll probably be easier to handle a little bit when it's cooler.
Okay, as you can see, the sausage is becoming nice and cooked down with little crumbles. And I'm going to start mixing in the vegetables with the cooked sausage. I'm going to marinate all those flavors together. We're going to let this cool for about 15 minutes, and then we're going to add the chicken stock and the breadcrumbs. Okay, it's time to take it out of the pan and put it in our bowl. See all that liquid released from the onions and the celery and the sausage. We're going to let this cool for 15 minutes before we add the breadcrumbs. Sausage mixture has cooled just slightly, I am going to be putting it in your bowl, and you're going to add the rest of the ingredients. You're adding seasoned breadcrumbs.
Mm-hmm. So if you don't want to use the seasoned breadcrumbs, you don't have to. You can use plain, but you know, it just adds that little extra to it. I like having the more flavor, the better. And you can also use, instead of using a full breadcrumb, you can use just the cubed stuffing mix too.
Would you like me to add some chicken
yes,
stock?
that needs a little bit.
And you have 1 pat of butter in here.
In there. Mm-hmm. Just enough to give it a little bit, again, a little bit more moisture because the sausage is so lean.
It is very lean. I was shocked the first time that I saw it.
So you need a little bit of moisture to keep it, and especially if you're not putting it in the bird, because it will be a little bit drier outside of the bird. So
it smells really good.
A little bit more.
A little more, okay. So as far as consistency goes, if you're just putting it in a baking dish and not putting it in the bird, do you want it a little wetter?
I like it a little wetter.
Okay.
Just because.
And do you cover it with foil?
You can, so that it'll keep it moist, and then at the end, if you want it like a little bit like crunchy on the top and whatever, that will kind of take care of that. So you can just.
And that's the crunchy top.
That's the crunchy top. Your crunchy top is all done.
All right. Would you like more, or is it
I
good?
think that's pretty good.
All right. So let's put it in the baking dish. And as we're putting the sweet sausage in the oven, we're gonna take this savory hot spice. Actually, it's really not that hot, is it?
No, it's not. It's mild hot. It just gives you enough of a little bit more of a flavor to it than what just the plain sweet does.
This looks great. All right, so we're gonna cover it with foil and then add, what do you think, about 20 minutes to warm it?
Yeah, it just needs to be warmed through.
So-
Because everything's cooked.
So about 20 minutes, and then about maybe at the end of maybe 18 minutes, take it off and let it crisp up at the
Crisp
top.
up on the top a little
All
bit.
right, we're gonna go get the spicy one out of the oven. Okay, Paula, go ahead and cover the sweet
it up.
sausage, and we're gonna go take the spicy one out of the oven.
That looks fantastic.
Great. Okay, let's give it a little taste. Now, I haven't had
That's
the
good.
sweet one yet, but this one's already my favorite.
I love it with a little bit of spice.